In this particular episode, what we want to see is what's inside this graph editor. Eyebrows, the morph, all these morph groups, we want to see them in this list as soon as I select my object. Okay, so we are about to create a function to do that. So let me go back to our text. So this is the function we're editing, add morph groups. So in order to do this, we have to loop through those. So to start with, we'll say, let's create a variable called my parent group. So we are calling it parent group because this will be the parent group, which is the actual object, is equal to channel group. And then let's use the name of the object.name. Okay, so this is how to select a channel group, just by saying channel group and then give it the object name. All right, or whatever this object name is at that time. So once we do that, what we are grabbing is this one, the name of the object. So we're grabbing this, and then we're going to go through what it contains one by one and only select these that we want here, which are morph groups. So let's go back here. Now we want it to be able to select just one group at a time. So to do that, we're going to say my, instead of parent group, we're going to say my chan group, which is my channel group, is equal to, we do the same thing again, channel group, but we're getting the channel group from here this time. So from the parent, like so. Okay, so while this is true, which means it contains something, so we're going to say while that is true, let's loop. Now, because this is going to be true forever, so we don't want to loop forever. So what we need to do is get this and reassign it, this same channel group, reassign it to the next available item. So my channel group is now equal to, after we loop the first time, it's going to be equal to the next item. So here what we're going to do is we have to put the parent group, but we have to put the channel group as well, so it can loop through it. Okay, now here we are going to see the names. So let's just try and extract the names and just say my channel group dot name, I think should do. I think all of them have that property, so we're going to check what their names are. Let me copy that to make sure that we actually added it here. Okay, we did that in the last video, so we are good to go. So let me go back here and remove this and do it again. Now let's select bones, and then let's select a mesh. Unable to locate function reference channel group. Okay, so I made the mistake of using a small letter. It's channel group with a capital G. There we go. That should work. So let's go back again, try again. Right, let's select an object, a bone, and then object. So now you see we're getting brows, which is cool. Morph group, eyes, face, mouth, brows. Okay, why is it repeating? All right, so there we go. So these are the items in the graph editor. So as you can see, there's brows, there's morph group, there's eyes, there's face, there's mouth. Okay, so that's very good. We've gone through all of them, and that's how we get them. All right, so at this point, we can add these names to the LB, this variable right here, LB items, because that's the variable that our list box is looking for to populate itself. So let's come back here and say, instead of info, we're going to say LB items plus equals. So this is how you add items to an array. So this is the same as saying, instead of plus equal to whatever the channel group name is at the point, so let's see, dot name, something like that. So this is equal to saying LB items is equal to LB items plus that. Okay, but a shortcut is this way, plus equals that. Now okay, let me just save this and go back here and let's give it a try and see if we get something. So let me remove that motion mixer. Let me open that up and bones and then object. Okay, so we don't see anything. That's because we haven't refreshed. So once we are done with this, we're supposed to tell the requester to update, something like that. Now also something that's very important is we need to know that the requester is open, because if that box, this thing is not open, we're going to generate an error when it tries to update what's not open. So in order to do that, we go back here. We can either put it here or we can still just put it down here and say if requester is open. So if it's open, continue, but if it's not, return. So I want it to return by putting an exclamation mark here. I'm saying if not requester is open. So if it's not open, return. So what this means is that if the requester is not open at this point, this will exit and this won't run. So that's good enough for me. So let me remove that, go back here, select that, and there we go. Now we have a list of our channel group. Now if you notice, they're repeated here. I'm sure it's going to repeat again if I do this. So every time I select, it adds to this list. So this is not what we want. So in order to curb that, it means before we start adding items, we might as well empty it first. So to empty something, we just say LB items is equal to nil. So once we say nil, then everything is emptied. Whatever contents were there are removed. So let's see if that helps. So let me go bones, item. Yeah, so you see, that's much better. If I do that again, no difference. It just does this once. Okay, so now that we have this list, I think this is too wide a bit. Now that we have this list, we can have another list here where once we select and then we see what morphs are actually in that one. So for that, we might just use a drop-down list here to keep things simple. So this is too long and too wide. So I'm going to reduce those values in the next video.